So my friend Jo is involved in the Children's Forest Project, which is a project which helps children to envision and create children's forests. So I thought that maybe we could do something similar with our yoga practice today, where we might create our own children's forest. So how about we come down to lie on our backs, almost as if we were lying on the earth in our forest. And maybe you can close your eyes and just start to imagine what your forest might look like, what it might have in it, what it might sound like, what it might smell like. Now, because we're in a forest, and a forest generally has trees, there should be lots of oxygen to breathe. So let's see if we might breathe in some of that beautiful oxygen, filling our body with lots of prana, we might call it, life force, to make us really healthy. So we're going to see if we can breathe in and out through our nose. And maybe we see if we can make our tummy expand as if it's expanding up towards the trees that might be growing above us. And then when we breathe out, we just let our tummy settle back down towards the earth. So as you breathe in through your nose, imagining your tummy going up almost to greet the trees above. And then as you breathe out, just let the tummy settle back down towards the earth. Okay, and then shall we see if we can keep breathing like this as we start to move our body. So let's take a breath in, one of these beautiful breaths in, and bring our knees in towards our chest. And then we're just going to have a little rock around here, as if we might be a tiny seed. Maybe we're a tiny seed that's been dropped by a bird from its beak. And that tiny seed is going to nestle itself down into the soft earth. So let's roll to the side, and we're going to nestle ourselves down now as a tiny seed in the earth. So here we are, down we go, just like this, into a tiny seed. Now, there are things that seeds need to help them grow, and one is a little bit of sunlight. So perhaps it's morning in our forest and the sun's just coming up for the day. So let's come all the way up, let's take a breath in, and let's bring ourselves all the way to stand towards the fronts of our mats, or the front of our mat, and let's take a sun salutation, shall we? So we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart, we'll take a breath in and we'll bring our hands all the way up towards the sky and the trees above us. And as we breathe out, we're going to bend our knees and bring our fingertips down onto the mat. And then we're going to take a breath in and we're going to look forward ahead of us. And then as we breathe out, we're going to step back into our upside down V-shaped pose like this. And then we're going to take a breath in and we're going to lift our heels away from the mat. And we're going to breathe out and bring our knees and maybe our chest and our chin down onto the mat if we can. And then as we breathe in, we're going to slide our legs back, lift our chests. And then as we breathe out, we're going to come back into our upside down V shape. We're going to take a big breath in, lift the head, look forward. And as you breathe out, you could step or maybe jump your feet to your hands. You're going to take a breath in, lift your head again, look forward, your hands might go on your shins. Stay here, or if you can, as you breathe out, bring your head down towards your knees. We're all going to bend the knees now, bring the hands together, and as you breathe in, let's stretch the hands all the way up to the sky above us. And then we'll breathe out, bring our hands to our hearts. Thank you, Sun, for providing us with life. So now our little seed has grown all the way into a tree. So let's see if we can practice tree pose. So keep one of your feet on the mat, lift the other one up and see if you might bring that foot to your standing leg like this. Your hands can come together in front of your heart. And just imagine what kind of tree you might be. So I think I might be a pine tree, because pine trees are amazing because they give off what they call an aerosol, which can help to strengthen our immune system. So a really good thing to do is to go and stand under a pine tree at midday when the sun's kind of at its highest, and just let yourself breathe in all the smell of the pine. Okay, let's see if we can try another tree pose on the other side. And imagine what you might be this time. Sometimes I really like willow trees, and willow trees can be really helpful if you're not feeling very happy. If you go and sit by a willow tree, especially if it's by a river, it can make you feel happier. I'm also quite fond of an oak tree though. There's a lot of strength that you can get from being around an oak tree. Okay, so we'll take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, let's release that foot back down onto the mat. So what have we got in our forest apart from trees? Well, in my forest there's a deer, so maybe you want to practice deer pose with me as well. So I'm going to take one leg forward with the knee bent and keep the other leg straight. And here my hands are going to lift up, and I'm going to be like a deer, listening out intently. And then I'm going to see if I might be a different deer by changing and bringing the other foot forward and taking my front foot back, and here I am again. A deer in the forest, playing around, listening out, sniffing. And then I'm going to breathe out and bring my hands down. And I'm going to become a little wood sprite now. So I'm going to be an elemental. So these are things that exist in the forest that you might not see unless they want you to see them. So a little wood sprite having a little play. Here I am, a little wood sprite having a little play. I'm going to take a breath in and a breath out. That's it. And then I'm going to be another little wood sprite having another little play. So I'm going to change in direction. And my other foot now, my other knee's going to bend. And I'm a little wood sprite having a play. And then there are also magic fairies in my forest. I love magic fairies. So my magic fairy looks like this. You might have a different posture for your magic fairy, or maybe you don't have a magic fairy. You have a little angel or something, or a little sprite, a different little sprite. It's entirely up to you, but this is my magic fairy. I'm going to stand on one foot, lift my other foot up, and I'm going to lift the back foot. Can you see my back foot's going all the way up towards the sky? And I'm going to bring my front hand forward. So here I am, a magic fairy, all light and, well, rather pretty actually. Okay, I'm going to take a breath in, and as I breathe out, I'm going to come all the way back up. I'm going to try that on the other side. I'm just going to turn around. So I'm another magic fairy now. So I'm going to balance on my other foot. I'm going to lift my other foot up towards the sky and bring my hand forward. So most people probably can't see me. Magic fairies can be quite shy, but they can be very helpful. If ever you need any help, just ask the magic fairies to help you. And then I'm going to take a breath in and come all the way back up from there. Okay, so what else might I find in my forest? I know. I'm going to find a little rabbit. So I'm going to come down here into this little crouch, and I'm going to just hop along like a little rabbit. Hopping along, hopping along, hopping along, hopping along. And there in my forest is a little bird. Now my bird is a robin because I love robins. You know, some people say that robins are angels in disguise. And I think they pop up at just the right time. So I'm going to pretend to be a little robin. So I'm going to have both my hands on the mat. I'm going to make myself as small as possible. You know how robins have big red breasts, and here they are. Sometimes they look like they're quite fat actually. So I'm going to bend my elbows, bring my knees. So I'm getting really, really snug in on myself. Bring my knees on my upper arms. Now I need to bend my elbows so I can balance here. And notice how my bottom is up in the air. And then I'm going to see if I can just literally balance on my hands as if my hands are indeed the feet of a little robin. And here I am balancing, having a little wobble around. And then I'm going to come all the way down from there. And I think I might be a little butterfly now. I'm going to come down to sit and I can turn to face you. So here I am, a little butterfly, having a good flutter around my forest. And actually in my forest there's lots of lovely things for a butterfly. There's lots of lovely flowers in particular. So how about we see if we might be a flower now? So little butterfly flies away from one flower. Can you lift your feet up like this? There's the butterfly flying away, fluttering from one flower to the next. So this is going to be my flower pose. I'm going to come onto my knees and I'm going to step a foot forward like this. And then I'm going to be a beautiful flower opening out to the forest. And I think I might be a St. John wort flower. They're a little yellow flower, but they're so amazing because they have lots of healing properties. So they can help you if you need any healing. And then from here I'm going to see if I might be a different flower. So this time, what shall I be this time? I might be a nice beautiful bluebell actually. I love seeing bluebells in the woods. So now I'm a bluebell. And buzzing around, so you've got the butterflies fluttering around, but buzzing around is a bumblebee. So I'm going to come into a kneeling position like this and I'm going to pretend to be a bumblebee, and I'm going to do that by taking my fingers and I'm going to use my fingers to gently close my eyes. So I'm going to close my eyes and put my fingers against my closed eyes, and then I'm going to use my thumbs to close my ears, and then I'm going to take 3 hums. So I'm going to take a breath in through my nose and then I'm going to hum like a bumblebee 3 times over, okay? So here we go, let's take a breath in. Just going to pause, because do you notice when you do the bumblebee breath that you start to vibrate a little bit like a bumblebee probably does? Can you feel that? It's a very calming thing to do, the bumblebee breath. It's called Brahmari. It's really good if ever you feel a little bit anxious or a little bit out of sorts, so you just need to calm down, then bumblebee breath. Remember that, okay? So in my forest, as well as having the bumblebee, I also notice that all of a sudden it's starting to rain. Okay, so it's going to start to rain. How am I going to do rain, I wonder? I think this might be my rain. That's the sound of the rain coming down. And it's making a puddle on the floor of the forest, on the earth. There's a little puddle forming. So I think this might be my little puddle forming. Can you do this as well? My little puddle is forming here. Look, in a little dip in the earth. And I'm still trying to breathe. And do you know what's come to my puddle, my little puddle in the earth? A dragonfly. I love dragonflies. They're amazing. Do you know, I think they might be 350 million years old, or something like that. They've been around for a long time anyhow. And do you know what's so amazing about them is that they can fly in all different directions. They can fly up and down, and they spend most of their lives just flying. So this is going to be my dragonfly. I'm going to come onto one foot, and I'm going to take my hands out to the side, and I'm going to lift my back leg. So these are like my wings. So here I am, a dragonfly. They are beautiful though. You know you're in for a good time if you see a dragonfly. You just have to stop and watch it. It's quite amazing. Let's see if we can do that on the other side. So the other leg now. You're going to take your hands out to the side, see if you can balance here. Just think, to spend all your time flying like that. Even, I think they feed as they fly. Okay. And then let's now, because it's been raining, there might be a little rainbow in our forest. How about that? So I'm going to come all the way back down from here. Now some of you might decide that this could be your rainbow. Could this be your rainbow? A little bit like a rainbow. If you let your head drop back, a little bit like a rainbow. But some of you might like to do this posture, this rainbow pose, where you take your hands beside your ears. Now you really need to make sure your feet and your hands have got a good grip on the mat, and then you take a breath in and up you come. And this could be your rainbow pose instead. And then you can come down from there. And we'll just pause here for a moment, shall we? We'll pause, and perhaps we might be, a little dead bug. Oh dear. Almost like we might have just accidentally squashed one. So this is the little dead bug pose, where we bend our knees and we take our hands to our feet. Can you do that? That's it. Okay, so now it's stopped raining and night is coming. Okay, so it's starting to go dark now. And so there are different animals in the forest. The first animal that appears in my forest anyway is the fox. So I'm going to roll to the side, come all the way up from here, and this is going to be my fox. He's looking around for something to eat, moving through the forest. So one of my hands is up, one of my arms is up, and one of my feet and my legs is up. So the opposite one. So I've got my right hand, my right arm up, and my left leg up. You could probably do it the same on each, the same hand and leg, although I think that might be a little trickier. So let's have a go at the other side. So this time I'm going to bring my left hand up and my right leg up. Here I am, a fox with a bushy tail. They're beautiful foxes, aren't they? And then also in my forest is a badger. Well, quite a few badgers actually. And this is going to be my badger pose. So here I am in an upside down V shape, but I am actually going to pretend that I'm a black and white badger. Now, I don't really know if this is what badgers do, but I imagine they might do something similar. I might just be the badger doing a little wee, and I might just lift one of my legs to do a little wee. And then I might try and lift my other foot and my other leg to do another little wee. And then I'm going to bring my foot back down. And also in my forest at night is an owl. So I'm going to walk my hands towards my feet. Going to come all the way up from there. Now owls are my most favourite thing. Actually, I've got quite a lot of favourite things now I think about it, because I do like magic fairies and robins as well, but owls. So this could be my owl pose. One of my feet on the mat, I'm going to bend that knee, and I'm going to wrap my other leg around the standing leg. And then I'm going to wrap my arms. I'm either going to hug myself, you could hug yourself, or I'm going to wrap my arms like this. And here I am. Do it, do, do it, do. Maybe you can make a better owl sound than me. Okay, let's see if we can be an owl on the other side as well. They're just so wise, aren't they? And so elegant and so graceful. They're beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's it. And then in the sky is a half moon. So let's see. We're going to have to balance on one foot again. You'll be getting really good at your balancing. I'm going to bring my right foot down, and I'm going to bring my right hand forward, and then I'm going to see if I might take a breath in. Up my left foot goes, and up my left hand goes, and here I am, a half moon, turning my chest to look towards the left side of the room. Don't worry if you're not able to balance very easily. I'm sure you're still a beautiful moon. Let's see if we can be a half moon on the other side as well. So I also love the moon, I have to say. I love all the different stages of the moon, but I particularly like a full moon, when I might be able to howl at the moon. Okay, and then from here it's all quietening down a little bit in the forest. I can hear something though. I I think that may be something. They make a noise similar to that. A little grunty noise. A little hedgehog. I'm going to come down into little hedgehog. Here he is. Little hedgehog having a little look around for grubs in the earth. And maybe there's a little grub in the earth. I wonder how I might be a little grub. I think I'm just going to get like this, really small, and try and hide from the hedgehog so I don't get eaten. And then it's all getting a bit quieter now. And so I think I might make the most of the opportunity to take a little snooze in my forest. So I'm going to lie myself down on the earth. Here we are. If I had a blanket, I might cover myself with a nice blanket. And if I had an adult with me, I might have a fire burning somewhere off in the distance, but so that I can just hear it and can be warmed by it. And if I did have a fire, I might put some pine cones on it, because they also can be really helpful in sterilising the air and making sure that my health and my immune system is really strong. So I'm just going to rest myself down like this on the earth, and I can really feel the softness of the earth beneath me, and I feel really safe in the forest, so I can just let the back of my body rest down, and I feel really snug as well, and I know that I'm breathing in all this beautiful fresh air, and that the trees are giving off all these lovely aerosols that are making me feel better. And you know, trees can talk to one another as well, and I feel their energy, their comforting presence. So I feel much better for being in my children's forest. I feel nice and rested. And I might just take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. And as I just lie here for a moment, I'm just going to think if there's anything else I might include in my children's forest. And you know, the only thing I can think of that might be missing from my children's forest is lots of other children who I can play with. So maybe we'll have to create our own real children's forest one day, so we can all come together beside the fire and then have a play in our forest. I'm going to come all the way, or I've come all the way up to sit now, and I'm just going to bring my hands together in front of my heart. And I'm going to chant Om as a way of saying thank you to my children's forest for so much fun on my yoga journey. Om. I'm just going to bring my head down towards my heart, and I'm going to open my eyes, and I'm going to say Namaste. So Namaste, thank you for joining me.